Hello. Welcome to Let Me Bore You to Sleep. My name is... What is my name? Jason Newland. Hello. Oh, Vinny, be careful you don't knock that TV off. So hey. Only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Just giving Vinny a bone, because I took them all and put them on a table earlier, because I have spent the day making hypnosis recordings. Oh yes, I made three different ones. Wow. So I thought I'd better do a Let Me Bore You to Sleep, because I did start to do one on... Whoa. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And I was streaming it live on TikTok, and someone came on and started basically trying to wind me up, and I got wound up, and it was all about they're asking me these questions like, would you date someone of this age? Would you date someone of that age? And I didn't want to kind of go into it. I just said, look, I go by what's legal. There's a legal law, and that's it. Because I didn't really want to go into the details that I haven't dated anyone for absolutely donkey's years, and I'm pretty much, I don't know, celibate's not the right word, but I'm a bachelor. My life partner is now Vinny, so I don't have any romance, and I haven't done for a long time. So it's not really something I give a lot of thought to. So I'm trying to do my podcast. I'm talking about boxing, and I was still quite excited about the night before, and I've been watching boxing during the day, and the boxing that was in America. And it was all kind of quite light-hearted stuff, and then it just, went weird. Because I was trying to include people on TikTok, which won't be happening again. But just like answering their questions and just, trying to include people as I recorded the video. Now the video's not coming out, because I even swore a little bit, which is not really what I normally do. So I did get frustrated, because they were basically saying that, I don't know what they were saying, but they kept telling me that I would date a 16-year-old, or I would date an 18-year-old, and I would date this and I would do that, and like, just because I said as long as it's within the law, because isn't that why there's a law? I try and live within the law if I can. So it was like just a general statement. Oh, well, yeah, within the law. Oh, does that mean then this? Does that mean then that? Does that mean... So either, I imagine that it might have been, I don't know who it was someone anonymous. Can't think what kind of person that would have been. Not one of them people that like me, obviously. It just got silly, but it was almost like they were accusing me of being what I'm not. And it's weird. I just felt very uncomfortable, and I know it's not a positive start to recording, but I'll move on from this. But that's what happened anyway. So I hung up. I stopped the recording, stopped the video, stopped the streaming. I deleted the app, completely came off the app, so I won't be on TikTok again. That was it. That's done for me. But then that was accumulative, because every time I went live, I was getting I guess, bullied, really. People trying to bully me online. Sort of, why are you on here, granddad? Why are you on TikTok? And kept calling me names and stuff. And I tried to just like brush it off, because the main reason I was on TikTok, well, the only reason I was on TikTok is because I joined TikTok about 5 years ago, and I was putting my videos on there, but they didn't really get many views. And one of my dog walking friends said to me, "You should try TikTok." And I said, "Well, I have been on there, but mate, I thought, well, maybe I'll give it a go. Maybe I'll go live. Maybe I can promote what I do." And I started posting videos again, and they were getting good views. I mean, I wasn't getting much. I think every video was getting at least 600 views, pretty much, that I was posting on there. And they were 59 minutes long. I'm not saying that everyone listened for 59 minutes, but it's not bad, because I'd only really been on there for about 3 weeks, like actively involved. So yeah, it was, but that I can't. There's only so much that I can. I mean, I probably just should have blocked the person and just moved on. But I just that was my reaction. So I reacted in a way that wasn't how I'd like to react, and especially live. But hey, that's what happened. But the video, the audio, I won't be releasing that, because it wasn't. It was a nice video before, but it was a nice podcast. Maybe I'll listen back to it, because perhaps it's only that last bit that went wrong. I mean, I might have had like an hour and a half worth of podcast there. I don't know. I'd have to look. I have to see. Let's have a look, see how long it lasted. Because let's have a look. Photos. Oh, okay. Well, according to this, oh no, it'll be on here. So let's have a look. I just want to see how many. 1 hour, 24 minutes and 23 seconds. So maybe an hour of it was okay. Perhaps I should look back at it and just delete the naughty words and that conversation. But it was weird. It was just, I don't know. What it is almost, was it rage baiting or something it's called? And they're just people trying to find ways to distract me from doing a podcast, because I kept sort of pointing out, I'm doing a podcast. I can try and include you a little bit, just, if any questions and stuff, but you can't come on the screen and talk, and I'm not going to, whatever. But then people start saying, "Why aren't you answering my questions?" I added the shouty part, because there probably wasn't shouting, but it's like, okay, if you want to have a go at someone, have a go at Mick Jagger, who's like 80, married to a 29-year-old or whatever. Just go and have a go at him. Don't have a go at me. I'm not dating anyone. If you kind of got an issue with age, what do they call it? Age gap relationships. I'm not in an age gap relationship, and I've never have been in an age gap relationship. I think it's only ever been like 5-6 years between me and the people I've dated as an adult. In fact, quite often they were older than me. So, when I was 24, 23, I was dating someone who was about 31. And I loved it. I was very happy. Means what she was, I was 18. 18? Yeah, I was 18 when she was 25. So I kind of had a thing with her when I was 18, just a very small thing, but it was still, we held hands. Ooh, we held hands. And then I didn't actually get to date her until I was 23. So I waited 5 years holding a candle in my heart for her. But anyway, I feel it just got annoying because the person who, I guess it's a human, whatever they were saying, I mean, maybe it's a bot. Maybe they've got bots that can do this stuff just to wind people up online. So it might not even be a human person behind it. It might just be someone repeating the same question. Just saying, well, you just said that you'd date this, and you just said you'd. No, but you said if it's legal, then, well, yeah, it has to be legal, doesn't it? That's the point of the law, my friend. Isn't it? Isn't that the point of the law? But then people get all moral, don't they? Well, no, but that's not right because you should only. What are the rules? What are the moral rules about dating? So people should only date within what? How many years of each other? I don't know what the rules are. I've been out of the dating game for 20 years. Really? No, 2000. Like actual dating. I kind of was seeing someone after college, but no, actually, no. The last time I dated was 2011. Yeah, 2011. So we're now in 2026. So that's 15 years ago. So that's the last time I had like a date with someone I'm dating. That makes sense. So 15 years ago. So maybe the rules have changed. They said, oh, would you date a 16-year-old? And I said, well, I'm not really going to have a lot in common with a 16-year-old. And they said, but you said you date an 18-year-old. What are you going to have in common with them? I said, I didn't say I was going to date an 18-year-old. And then, it's really weird. It's like, why would an 18-year-old want to date me? Why would someone young want to date someone of my age? That's the question you'd have to ask. Not, I mean, what's in it for them? Nothing. With an old man, why would they? You know, it's like when I was 18, 19, 20, I didn't want to get together with a 55-year-old woman. 35, maybe 40, but I generally didn't go too high. But I liked older women, but, 55, that was like my grandmother's age. 55, 65, 75, 85. Yeah, I don't know, how old am I then? Then he just barked, so I had to tell him off. Give him a good telling off, I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, I just like that whole. It seems very small-minded for people to have such limited views. As long as it's legal, as long as you're not breaking the law, then it's like. That was kind of my way. Like, if I met someone who's 90 that I fell in love with, then whose business is it? Of anyone else's business? Do you know? It's like age gap thing. It's not illegal, is it? It's like, I mean, some people get married. There's 30, 40 years between them. I've never really understood it, but hey, what's it got to do with me? Why shouldn't they be happy? If it's mutual and they both love each other and stuff. I mean, I've dated women that I didn't even speak the same language, but there was still something there. And I really need to communicate with someone if I'm going to date them. But it's like a relationship that was never going to go anywhere, but it was almost like, well, it's fun. It's fun, it's fun, it's fun, it's fun, it's fun. So yeah. Anyway, I used to have younger women coming on to me all the time, even when I was in insurance, like in call centres. It's like, what are you doing? And it's really, I'd be there in this call centre and they'd be flirting with me, and then we'd go home, like we'd all be leaving the building, and her dad would turn up and he'd be like my age. I was like, why? I couldn't really grasp it, you know. There you go. So yeah, but that just annoyed me because I felt I don't like being accused of stuff that I'm not doing. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not online. If I was online to meet women, why would I have spent 20 years doing it? How many women have I met from doing these podcasts and making videos and doing hypnosis? You know what I mean? It's like, it's not... I nearly met someone from Amsterdam once, but I kind of messed that one up. That's a story for another day. But, like, besides, most of the people that listen to my recordings are around my age or older. I mean, not everyone, but most people that listen to what I do, listen to the relaxation stuff or listen to the sleep recordings, are generally kind of, well, they're all adults. I mean, I've looked at the statistics and it's all people 25 plus generally. There might be a few younger people, but like, really, I don't know, I'm still annoyed by it. Still annoyed. That's a good time to make a sleep recording, Jay. Why don't you do one when you're annoyed? Okay, I'm not annoyed. I'm just saddened. I'm just disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. That's a good. Oh, well done, Vin. I gave him a bone. He's listening to me. He's listening. I gave him a bone just now, but he's found another bone from somewhere else. He can hear. I think maybe it's a word because I'm saying the word bone. Every time I say it, he stops. It's all right. Carry on, mate. And then, yeah, he's having fun. I should leave him alone. He's been quite a good boy actually the last few days. I think he is generally a good boy. It's just I get a bit... It's when he barks and I'm not expecting it, it really freaks me out. Because I live in quite a quiet atmosphere. And I'm constantly listening to, maybe not constantly, but I listen to a lot of classical music. I listen to my own recordings as well, which may sound weird, but I do, because I find them relaxing, and they do send me to sleep. But he is he's making the most of having a bone, because I took them away from him when I did the hypnosis recordings. Now I know hearing him in the background's not everyone's cup of tea, but I can't deprive him of his bones all day long, and I've literally been working on this all day long. And he deserved a treat, and he's just eating all his dinner up. He's a good boy, he is. I mean, just probably about 10 minutes ago, because I pulled the settee forward to try and get him on camera, although I'm not making videos anymore. He planted his bum on my leg, because I'm sitting on a separate chair. He just wanted to be close to me, and it was so cute. It's like, that's nice, isn't it? That he wanted to sit because he sits next to me or lays down next to me when I'm sitting on the sofa, like the other end of the sofa watching telly. And he prefers that. I mean, he will come and sit at my feet or on my feet, or lie down and go to sleep next to my feet. So he likes to be touching me. I think that's a happy dog. He's been out 3 times today. He seems pretty happy, which is kind of one of the most important things in my life is for him to be happy and well. I mean, I suppose I should try and focus on myself as well, but you know, he's just a little doggy, isn't he? God, I had another dog walker the other day say to him, "You're not having any more treats, you're getting porky." What? Everyone's out to wind me up. It's like, you can't be saying that. Don't fat shame another person's dog. That's out of order, isn't it? So I'm now in that zone where when I take him out, I kind of just don't want to. I feel I'm like almost don't want to look at anyone. Don't want to, just in case. Oh, they might not be my age. Even though I'm not looking at them in any way, just like, oh, nope, they're walking a dog, but no, they might be under 50. Shouldn't talk to them now. That's not right. Can't talk to someone under 50. Even though when I talk to people with their dogs, got no interest in sort of relationships or anything. Just talking to them because that's what we've got in common, having dogs. And it's the only time I really have any conversations with people. Like regularly. It's strange. It's like, you know, it's like we can be friendly without it trying to mean that I'm got ulterior motives. And I don't have ulterior motives, because even if someone like suddenly fell in love with me, love at first sight, you know, walking through the park with their dog, me with my dog, and they said, oh, I love you. What is your name? And I don't know why they talk like that, but part of me think, no, you're all right, thanks. Just generally, because I can't be bothered. And another part of me thinks, well, I'm going to have to tidy this flat, and I can't be bothered to do that. So it's kind of, I don't even think about it. If I don't know, because I know I wouldn't know if someone likes me unless they actually tell me that they like me. I don't have the foggiest idea if someone I can kind of tell if someone likes me in the sense of they're talking to me, and maybe every time I go to a place they're there and they come and talk to me, then yeah, maybe they like me, but not in a romantic way. I have no idea. The only way I know is if the person is blatant about it. I mean, even if they say, oh, should we meet up for coffee? I don't know if that means it's a date, or it means they just want to go for a cup of coffee, which is also fine. I mean, I just, you know, I suppose a cup of coffee is okay, you know, like if I've gone somewhere and I've met someone and they say, should we go for a cup of coffee? Like, okay, just have a cup of coffee. But if I met someone and they said, oh, should we meet up in the week for a cup of coffee? I was like, no, that means I've got to travel all the way into town. Is you know, and I kind of, in my mind, I don't want to know, is this a date or is this just a cup of coffee? Because I can drink coffee at home. Yes. And I don't need to talk to anyone because I've got my podcast. I can talk to the podcast. And I've got Vinny I can talk to. And I've got dog walkers I can talk to or talk at. So I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do when it comes to any kind of relationship. I'm just a friendly person though. That's the thing. I'm chatty. I'm friendly. And I'll talk to people, people that I see regularly. You get to kind of, it feels almost like you know someone, if you live, I've lived here 11 years now. So I see some people and I just say hello to them. I wave to them. I don't know who they are. I've never spoken to them, some of them, but I'll still say hello. Never had a conversation. And I had a conversation the other day with a bloke that I've been saying hello to for ages and ages. We'll even wave to each other from across the park. He's not a dog walker. We just say hello. And then I said to him, I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. And he started talking to me and telling me why. But that was the first time we'd had a conversation. But it felt like we'd had loads of conversations because I'm used to seeing him every day. Because he'd be walking around. He had his walk. He's probably in his, I got no idea, 60s or 70s. He might be my age. I got no idea anymore. But he, it's just, and I've got people like that. It's that I just say hello to. So it's nothing weird. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, that was loud, wasn't it? When I lived in London, I didn't used to say hello to nobody. Because in London, you don't need to. It's full of strangers. Well, it was when I lived there. I mean, it doesn't mean I didn't know anyone. I'd say hello to people I knew. I wouldn't ignore everyone. But because I lived in Stratford, and there was a lot of people in Stratford or going through Stratford. So, there was some people that I would see regularly. People that worked in shops, the gym. Wilf Sylvester, who had his gym round the corner from me. He was a former Mr. Universe. He was a lovely, lovely man. And so if he was outside the gym, I'd have a chat with him. Who else? The laundrette lady. I'd go and have a chat with her, even when I wasn't having my laundry done. I'd kind of go past, and if she'd wave to me, I'd go in and have a chat, because we got on really well. So there's people like that, but in the street, quite often I wouldn't see a single person I knew. Like, ever. Like, for weeks and weeks. Sometimes I would, people from work and stuff, but, quite often, yeah. And I kind of got used to it. I wouldn't say hello to people I didn't know. And it threw me off because I was once on the tube. I was coming off the tube, so I was walking down, I don't know if it's Tottenham Court Road tube station. So I just got off the tube and I'm walking down, and this lady is walking towards me and she says, "Hello, you alright?" And it threw me right off because I'd never had anyone say hello to me before on the tube. And I thought, I wondered, does she love me? Why is she saying hello? Do I know her? Is my memory going? And then I remembered, and I realised she was from up north. She had a northern accent. And I remembered that some parts of the country, people say hello to each other. Even if they don't know each other, they'll still say hello and they're friendly. London is not one of those places. I would say even none of the places that I've lived really, maybe Newcastle was, I don't remember, I was a kid, but nowhere that I've lived have really been like that, apart from Ireland, where complete strangers would say hello to each other, but they'd say salt, so complete straight. No one would. No, I don't mean in like a busy town centre, because people haven't got time for that. But if you see someone in the street and you're walking on a safe pavement, they're like, say hello. And I kind of do that here now, because when I moved here, I decided to break my rules. My rules was to have nothing to do with people I live with and to talk to no one. I did break those rules, but I've had a few problems in the past living in places where people have got out of hand situations and stuff. So, but it's always been, I've had to move out so many times because of neighbours and what's happened, loads of times. So when I moved in here, I mean, it's saying that I got on really well with my neighbour that I lived before here, but you know, the place before that was a bit bad. So I moved in. So when I moved in here, I thought, you know what? I'm actually gonna not just be friendly. I was never unfriendly. I just kind of just did my thing before, you know. I wasn't like rude or anything. I tried not to be. But I thought I'm gonna go the opposite way, and actually I knocked on every door in this building just to introduce myself. No one answered, but I kind of started with that intention. And I did get to know every single person in the building quite well, I'd say, really. I got on really well with everybody. There's a couple of new people now, but one that I haven't even met. But generally, I get on well with people. But I went out of my way to kind of be a bit more friendly and saying hello to people in the street, stuff like that, which is very alien to me. It's still a bit weird. I still feel strange sometimes saying hello to people if I don't know them, if I've never seen them before. And some people do just ignore me, which is a little bit embarrassing, you know. But generally, you know, I kind of made an effort, because I thought, well, if I'm going to be here for a long time, not a good time, but a long time, I might as well try and see if I can do that, try and be a bit friendlier, you know, a bit of a nicer neighbour. Because I never really lived anywhere very long. When I lived in London, I don't think I knew any of my neighbours ever outside of the house that I was living in. So for me, neighbours were people that lived inside the house, like shared rooms that were shared in a house, you know. So if it was a room, is it a house of multiple occupancy or something they call them now, HMOs? And even then, I didn't always know the people that I lived in the house with me. So I'd be sharing a bathroom with people I didn't even know. And then other times I did get to know people. I think over time I kind of made more of an effort as I got older. Because I've moved, I think I moved, lived in different, probably about 50 odd places, I think, since I left school. And just trying to think, when I moved in here, something came into my mind earlier when I was talking, and now it's gone. Where's it gone? Why is it gone? Oh, there's something to do with where I've lived and moving in here, saying hello to people. Yeah, I mean, there's still people that I said hello to and they kind of just blanked me, so I just didn't bother again. But then you don't know. Someone might be partially deaf, or they might be just focusing on something else. So they just didn't hear it because they're busy. So I try not to take it too personally. The problem is, with my eyesight as it is, I have to be relatively close to someone before I can even say hello. I mean, some people wave to me, I'm like, yeah, I wave back. Don't know who they are. I mean, literally, I don't know who. And sometimes I wave at people and it's not the person I think they are. But in that situation, if they get closer, I'll say, oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else. I take my wave back. Please return it to me. So, I think I'm relatively quite friendly, but I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. I'm just talking it through. Just talking it through. I'd say probably 90%, probably 95% of the people that I speak to on a daily basis are older than me. 95%. People that are walking their dogs, some older, maybe in their 60s, some in their 70s, some over 80, some in their 90s. So I sometimes feel like I'm the young'un. But there's people younger than me as well. But they're quite often busy. You know, they've just got home from work. They're taking a dog for a walk. They don't always necessarily have time to kind of stand around and walk slowly like I do. Because I do walk I guess I walk the speed of quite an elderly person. But part of the reason is because of my back. Because it hurts. If I walk too fast, it hurts. But it hurts anyway, but it's like, ooh. And I'm not a fast walker anyway. I'm not in a hurry. And Vinny likes to sniff the grass and sniff everything, so, you know, depending on the weather, I don't care. I'll be out for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, even an hour, if he wants to, especially when it's nice. Yeah. I don't know if anything I've said has made any sense. I guess I'm trying to stick up for myself. I'm trying. But it's like, okay, TikTok it's not a good place. Not for me anyway. It's amazing. Like with YouTube, I mean, I had some dodgy messages on YouTube over the years. A little bit on Facebook, but Facebook is harder because you got people's actual names on there, haven't you? And they got photographs of them and stuff. On TikTok, a lot of it is just made up profiles. Not even a name, just some, you know, image or some, I don't know. Not anything, or just A or C. So yeah, it was a bit harsh. More than harsh. And it's not for me. It's not for me. I mean, some people like to get into arguments and stuff, but I'm not. I've done that in the past. I don't want to do that anymore. It's not the kind of life that I'm trying to lead. You know? And it's weird because I was trying to present a safe space, really, for people to come on and just be nice. And some people were doing that. In fact, some people that came on originally trying to be rude to me came back and were being nice. and apologise for being rude. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm done. That TikTok is now the past. It's a shame as far as the videos goes, because it seemed like quite a nice opportunity to maybe try and reach a different audience, or a larger audience, because it is a big audience on there, and maybe get more people interested in what I'm doing. But I mean, I've probably got a few people still following me now on YouTube or on my podcasts, but that's okay. It's all good, whatever, really. It's all good, innit? I'm fine with it. So, just trying to think. It's all good. It's all good. Goody, 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 good. Don't know what that was about. Apparently it's supposed to snow on the 16th. How about this for specific? The 16th of February at 3 in the afternoon. I mean, bearing in mind it's only the 2nd of February today. This was yesterday I saw this. How can they predict over 2 weeks away, but also say it's going to be snow? The whole of the UK is going to be covered in snow by 3 o'clock. I mean, the time, it's just too specific for me. I struggle with that. I mean, come on, surely you can't know what time it's going to be. So you're going to know because in order for the snow to get here, the clouds have to be blown over, don't they? So the idea that they can calculate the exact speed of the wind and the exactly how quickly something's going to travel here from another part of the world. It's yeah. It can't be true, can it? I mean, not true. It's just a guess. It's all it can ever be, is a guess. Although they do seem to be getting better with the weather now. Mind you, we didn't get lots and lots and lots of snow like we were supposed to. The whole country got snow except me. We got a little bit of snow a few weeks back. I do like snow though. No, I love snow. I love watching it out the window. It's my favourite weather to look out the window at. And I like how it turns everything white. You know, in London, I remember it snowed in, I think it was 1991, January, February time. And it's really thick. And this was in Stratford, and it looked nice. It was the only way Stratford was ever going to look nice, is by being covered in snow. Like, I'm talking about Stratford where people live, not where it's all been done up for the Olympic Games a while back. I don't think anything's changed, because I went there actually. I thought, okay, let's have a look at how Stratford has changed. This was after 2012, so probably maybe 2013. I went for a wander. I thought, let's see what's changed. And yeah, you come out of the train station, it's a lot different. It's a hell of a lot different now to what it used to be. Around the actual train station and the the mall and all that stuff you got there. But then you turn a corner and it just leads you to the exact same places as it was before. I mean, it's, again, I'm going back a while, but it was still the same houses. The houses hadn't changed. It was, and I go further up, go down a road where I used to live. Everything was the same. I mean, maybe some of them had double glazing. Maybe some of the trees were a bit bigger. Things like that. But generally, same houses. That same. You see them as you come into. If you come into Stratford and you go past. Yeah, you go on the way, just as you go into Liverpool Street, you see the backs of a bunch of houses. If you filmed that journey, like the last 10 minutes of, well, that journey with the houses, not the stadium and all that stuff, because that's different, obviously, but you could film that whole journey from, I don't know, let's say a half-hour journey. So the half-hour bit between that leads up to Liverpool Street Station, you could film out the window and then compare it to a film that was done 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. There'll be some differences, but part of that film will look the same pretty much as it did 40 years ago, 30 years ago, when I was living in London. Because a lot of stuff hasn't changed. I mean, the houses are worth a lot more now. They might look really nice on the inside. They might always have looked really nice on the inside. And there's more tower blocks, offices and stuff like that around. So things have changed. But when you go to the actual place where people are living, the houses that people had, the former council houses where probably mainly been bought up, it's the same. Some of the shops will be different now. I went to my old corner shop and went in there, completely redesigned, and it wasn't him anymore. And I was like, I don't like it now. I wanted to be him. I wanted my Jamaican friend to be in the corner, standing up, calling me ponytail like he did in the early 90s. But that wasn't going to happen again. Especially as I don't have a ponytail anymore. What was that, like 20 years later? I was in there thinking, oh, what happened to my friends? The pub, which was a landmark, like you'd actually say the Thatched House, which was a pub. It's not a pub anymore. I think it's a coffee shop or coffee thing. It was an actual landmark. Like, can I get a taxi to the Thatched House, Stratford? And when you got closer, they say, where do you want to go? What road? They wouldn't go to the Thatched House, the actual pub itself. They just knew that was the area. So I want to go to Convalescent Avenue in Stratford. Where's that? It's near the Thatched House. Oh, okay. Easy peasy. I used to go in the Thatched House, actually. I mean, that was an old pub. That was there for a long time. Long time. Let me have a look. I want to Google it. That's what I want to do. I want to Google the thatched house, Stratford. See if it's even there anymore. I mean, the building, the pub. The pub had closed last time I looked. Thatched house. Let's have a look. How many are there around the country? The thatched house. Oh, there's one in East African food. What? Oh, there's one in Barking. There's quite a few around actually. There's one in pub, the Thatched House pub, Upminster, Thatched House pub, London, the Thatched House, London, Kenya. Oh. Right, I'm just having a look. That looks like the pub there. I wonder if that's it. The Thatched House. No, that is no. Or maybe that's the original, what it used to look like. So what I'm going to do, if I come out of there, the Thatched House, Stratford. Stratford. Oh no, it's not Stat. Stratford. Right, Thatched House pub. High Road, Leighton. Okay, got it. So you still got the Thatched House cars. So I'm just going to look at the images. The Thatched House cars, Leytonstone. The thing is, Stratford, Leytonstone, Leighton, very kind of, almost kind of the same place really. High Road, Leighton. The Thatched House, dental practice. You see what I mean? So you had the Thatched House, and this is in 150, High Road, Leytonstone. Leytonstone, Leighton, Stratford. It was Stratford, but it was also Leighton. So it's kind of a crossover. I think it was actually Leytonstone High Road. I think it was classed that was in. So, and that led to Leighton. I think it was where my nan was born. So this is what the Thatched House dental practice. The Thatched House. Okay, no. Thatched House history, Stratford. What? No, stop it. Thatched House. Okay, if I go to Thatched House pub, because I think that's where we've got to go, because it's not giving me. Right. No, Stratford upon Avon. Stratford, London. Wow. Okay, here we go. Okay, officially it's Leytonstone, but it's still Stratford, because I lived. Here's what's weird, yeah. I remember I lived in E15, which is Stratford. E7, no I'm sure E7 was Leighton, and Leytonstone was E40. I don't know, but they were all kind of close together. And I remember at one point, if you needed to claim housing benefit, had to go to Walthamstow, even though it's nowhere near Walthamstow, Stratford. I mean, it's not far in a car, but it's still a distance. And had to go to Leighton. It's like you got to go to different places for different things, because it's so kind of in the middle of. They're all kind of mixed together. Anyway, the Thatched House pub, Leytonstone, Stratford, was originally owned by Savile Brothers Limited Brewery of Stratford, and like so many East End pubs, was then acquired by Charrington's in 1925. So when did it first come along then? That's not giving me the Thatched House Pub. What? Watch all sports live. No, it's, unless that's an old picture. 3 comments. Okay, come on. Facebook. No, I don't need to open. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. All tabs. Too many tabs open. Too many tabs. Do people in Newcastle still call cigarettes tabs? That's a question, isn't it? Go and get me some tabs. Bookmarks. Anyway, it was there. It's just kicked me out for some reason. I'm getting kicked out of everywhere. It went onto Facebook. You know, once it gets onto Facebook, for some reason, oh, excuse me, it wouldn't let me go backwards. So I just thought, I can't even bother to type it all out again. But the Thatched House Pub was on the corner, and it was a landmark anyway. I think it still is. I think it's one of those places it'll be something else now, but it still has the Thatched House sign, because it's definitely going to be a listed building. It's been around for a long time, like well over 100 years, maybe more, 200 years probably. I don't know if it was always a pub, but it just said that they swapped over in 1925 to another company. So whoever owned it first, it might have just been like one of those taverns like they had in 300-400 years ago during Robin Hood days. Shall we go down and kick down to the Thatched House and have a beer? Okay, I'm not sure if I got enough money. Don't worry, I've got 1 penny. That'll be enough for us to stay there for a year. I don't know if that's true. 1 penny. 1 penny, so it is. It was alright. I went in there. Used to go in there with my friends from work, and used to get busy. Although I remember I went on the pool table, and there was a few lads that I think they kind of felt that they owned the pub. They ruled the pub, as it were, you know. So they had the pool table, and it's kind of their area. So I put 50 pence down to have a game. So it was my turn, and they let me play. You know, like it did seem a case of they let me. But what I didn't realise that I had the ability to do is something that I can't do in snooker. In pool, I'm good at snooker. So I was continually snookering the other player, so he couldn't do anything. So we were both getting two shots, but because my second shot, not 2 shots, getting 2 shots or something. Anyway, the way it worked out, that the game lasted for about 3 days, and I knew that I had to kind of bring it to a close before things got out of hand. And I genuinely was not trying to do that. I was trying to just play my best, but I just kept missing. But when I missed, it always seemed to end up right next to one of the balls, so the other player couldn't take a shot without hitting the wrong ball, or nudging the wrong ball, or whatever, you know. So Yeah. I mean, it wasn't my proudest moment, but it was up there. It was in the top 3. I mean, Leytonstone, then Leytonstone High Road used to lead from, I think it started just because there was a train station called Maryland train station, and it was a roundabout. I think there was a public toilet on the roundabout, or in the roundabout, maybe underneath the roundabout, which I think they shut down because they used to end up being meeting places for some reason, which I never really understood. I mean, if I was going to meet someone, I'd meet them, well, in a pub or outside somewhere, you know. I've never met anyone never ever met anyone in a public toilet. Meet you in a cubicle. Meet you by the first urinal. I've never had that. It's always been like, well, nowadays in a coffee shop. Didn't used to be coffee shops when I was younger. We didn't even have coffee shops when I was a kid. I don't think they existed. We did have we had a place called Tooks. I don't know if it was a national brand or whatever, but it was a mixture between, it was a bakery, really nice place, and a big area where they had seats and stuff where people could sit and eat and have cakes, drink tea and coffee and stuff. Really nice. I liked it in there. Tooks. How weird is that I remember that now? I've not even thought about that probably since the 80s. How did that come back into my head? The name of it. It's weird, isn't it? Strange. Let's see if I can find anything else. So I see new tab. I'm just going to be Tooks. See if anything comes up. Sign in. I don't want to sign in. Oh, blimey. Why is no, it's gone. There was a story in the newspaper or on the news, and it's really weird. Very strange story. Bearing in mind, a very famous person, infamous persons that just admitted to doing something, but he never admitted to doing the other things that he was in prison for. So it just seems strange. Maybe they're giving him some kind of a deal. Don't know what that would be. Huh? Yeah, it's not on there. It's probably, if I looked into the archives, I'd probably find it. But it's just like Vision World and those places that used to rent out televisions that aren't around anymore. I mean, Curry's is still around, isn't it? But there was, I mean, Curry's, what's the other one? I don't know. I know my friend rented what did he rent? A fridge freezer from this company. It's a store sort of halfway to town. It's not called Halfway to Town, but that's like where it is placed. And he must have paid for it 3 times over. The amount he was paying every month. And they don't cost that much money. It wasn't top of the range. I mean, a fridge freezer, It was a tall one. It was a nice one, but it wasn't like hugely expensive. And he was paying like 20 quid a month. He had it for 150 years. Like, wow. Oh dear. I'm trying to think what other shops. Oh, there was a brilliant shop when I was a kid. I'm trying to think what the name of this shop was. Anyway, it was brilliant. It was a toy shop. Best toy shop in the world. For me, because I was a kid and I'd never really been to any other toy shops. But it was specifically for toys. And, not Girlings. I don't know where I'm getting Girlings from. Oh, but it'd have stuff like, or the shop would have Hornby railways and things like that. It sort of sell like railway tracks and things for people that did that stuff. But it also had models and stuff. But then at Christmas, they'd have a Father Christmas in there, and they'd have so many things, so many presents, so many like gifts and toys and stuff. It was great, absolutely brilliant. Don't know what happened to it though. I think I do. I think it turned into an Argos. Yeah, I think it turned into an Argos because Argos is quite a big space. Because they need it, I suppose, because they've got to store everything, haven't they, out the back? I imagine the back of the store is probably larger than the actual store itself that people are in. I mean, really, I think they got the idea. Argos got the idea of, maybe other companies like that got the idea from, is it the Beano or was it the Dandy, where there was one of the strips was about the shop that sold everything, and every week someone would come in asking for a certain thing, the most random thing, and the shopkeeper in there would find it, and that would pretty much just be the story. But it was I can't remember what it's called, but the shop that sold everything. And when I moved to this town, not to this area here, but to the actual town back in 2007 to go to university, there was this shop that was I don't know what you would call hardware shop. Would that be the right word? They sold anything to do with like DIY, and I mean they were like the shop that sold everything. Like, you know, anything from like power tools down to like a screw. You actually go in there and get a screw. And I don't think they enjoyed it. You know, because it's like ideally they'd want to sell you a pack, wouldn't they? They don't want to just give you just one screw. What's that, 5 pence or 10 pence? But they were so good, and it wasn't just that they seemed to sell everything. They knew where everything was. That was probably more impressive to me. And they managed to fit it in what looked like quite a small shop. And I remember my dad came, and I think he came to my graduation, and he needed something. I don't know what it was. And I said, wait a minute, this is 2010. I said, there's a shop in town that sells everything. And he was after something DIY-ish, because I don't know what it was, but he said everything. I said, yeah, guaranteed they'll sell that, because it's on that is in that category of what they sell. So we went in there and they didn't have it. That was a very shortened version of the story, but yeah, they didn't have it. And I don't know, should I have felt embarrassed? I don't know. I felt a little bit embarrassed. They did say I'm sorry. And my dad was like, well, he said you sold everything. And I think the lady behind the counter said, well, that would be physically impossible, wouldn't it? And then I said, well, wait a minute. First of all, it's a compliment to you and your shop, okay? So, wind your neck in. I didn't say that at all. Why? Reduce your attitude, please. Didn't say that either. And I said, but Dad, I didn't say anything like in the world. It's just anything in kind of the DIY construction, that kind of thing. Home stuff that you would do at home. And he said, but they don't have it. They don't have what I needed. I said, yeah. He said, why do you say they sell everything? So we don't understand is they were really good. That's what I was trying to tell you. They were really good. And I've come in here quite a few times and they just seem to have everything. They seemed to, whatever I needed, they seemed to have it. And he said, when do you need DIY stuff? I said, that's not really the point. He said, well, it is really, because you're living in a room. Why do you need to do DIY? You don't own a house. I said, I know, but it's ruining the story for the listeners if you point that out. He said, well, why are you lying to people? Why are you making out that you go in there regularly and it's always got what you want, when clearly there'd be no reason for you to go in there, because you live in a room that's already been decorated and you're not allowed to sort of do stuff like that. I said, Dad, what can't we just, this is my graduation, can't we just get on? Just for the sake of the kids, can't we just get on? He said, all right. And I said, besides, I have been in here to buy a plane. He said, they sell planes? Where would they fit them? I said, no, not that kind of plane. Plane, as in you like shaving wood. He said, oh, a plane. I said, yeah, plane. He said, no, you got to say plane. Not plane. You say plane, that means like a flyy thing. But you should say plane. I said, okay, Dad. I mean, sometimes you've got to give up, haven't you? And I said, besides, the point is, I was just trying to let you know that this shop, it's not really about what I say. This shop is known around the town for being one of the best shops in town, for just always having what you need. If within this category. I mean, if you need a costume for Halloween, then no, you don't come in here. And then a lady behind the counter said, wait a minute, we do dungarees. I said, okay, fair enough. We have masks. What kind of masks? Welding masks. And big gloves and boots. There's your Halloween costume. And we sell chainsaws. It's like, that's actually quite a good answer, because that is a Halloween, isn't it? It's literally, isn't that Halloween Jason or whatever? Or was it a hockey mask? But anyway, I said, Dad, that's all it was, just because they were really good. And he said, all right, why did you have a plane then? A plane. I said, it doesn't matter. He said, no, I want to know now. Unless you're just lying. I said, no, I wasn't lying. He said, you live in a room, why would you need a plane? Have you taken up woodwork, or are you making, you got into, what is it? I said, no, I've not taken up woodwork. I said, you really want to know, Dad? He said, well, I'm not sure now, but yeah, depends like how your next sentence starts, I guess. I said, well, okay. I moved into this place and I was living next to the bathroom. Okay. Now I'm intrigued and worried at the same time. I said, nothing's weird, it's just the door wasn't closing properly, so people were slamming the door. I had to pull it closed, and it was really noisy, and it was making my room shake. So if I had an ensuite, 2 of the other rooms had en-suites, but 1, 2, 3 rooms didn't. So 6 rooms in the house. So 3 rooms had to come into the bathroom to have all the people in there. And there was, at least one of them had a couple in. So there's like 4 people were using the toilet, the bathroom. So early hours, late at night, So what I decided is I would shave off the top of the door, so that it could just close easily. I'm laughing because the end result wasn't good. I remember the landlord coming around, getting everyone together and saying, where's the door gone? Where's the bathroom door gone? Like, what do you mean? Was only half a door left. I mean, someone's removed half the door. Where's it gone? And I was like, I don't know. I don't use the bathroom, do I? I've got my ensuite. I basically got carried away, and ended up shaving more than I needed to. It was a bit of a mess, to be honest. So they had to put a new door in, but luckily this one fitted, so that was good. Now that last bit was a lie. It wasn't so much a lie, it was an embellishment to make the story a bit more solid and possibly maybe a little bit more believable, yet in the same way slightly absurd as well. If I was a soldier, So yeah, I'm now going to go and get myself some food. Some food. I'm going to get myself some food. Yeah. That was a bit weird. But yeah, I need to get a delivery, but I'm not sure if I need to get a delivery today or tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow, because I can't really be bothered to do it, because it means waiting around and stuff, and I don't want to wait around, and it's usually okay at night, but sometimes I can't find the place. Usually it's generally okay, but yeah, I got enough milk, I got enough breakfast cereal for the morning, I got food, although I don't have any tomato ketchup. That ran out. I mean, it's not that important, but it'd be nice to have some. It's not the end of the world, but it'd be nice to have some. I like tomato ketchup. Here's something I broke my rules. I got Sainsbury's home brand tomato ketchup instead of Heinz, isn't it? Yeah, Heinz. I don't know why I was such a rebel, but I did it anyway. Yeah. I mean, I think if you put them both together, you could tell. Well, I would tell the difference, especially if it's still in the same packaging. So you could tell the difference. But I don't have tomato ketchup enough, or often enough, to really be that bothered by it. Not really. Yeah. But it'd be quite nice to have some type of tomato ketchup. But I don't. No. It's alright. I just wish I did. But I don't. So I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening, and remember to be kind to yourself, because you deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye.